Hello and welcome! Today's video is a tribute to a myth that has gotten a lot of love lately in the form of the amazing webcomic called Lore Olympus. If you don't already know, Lore Olympus is a series by Rachel Smythe. Anyway, which is a retelling of the story of Persephone and Hades. She has a fantastic art style and an amazing story, so go check it out over on Webtoons. She updates every Sunday. Now, on with the video. For Persephone, I started off with a Tinkerbell doll base. She has a rounded, smiling face that I thought would work well for the character, along with a delicate body type that I could do some modifications on. For Hades, I went with a Ken doll I had lying around. 1, because I don't have many male dolls to choose from, and 2, the two of them together make that perfect tall versus small ratio that I am absolute trash for. Stripping the dolls of their faces and hair, I got to work with the modifications on the bodies of both dolls. Persephone got a few assets added to her chest and booty, and Hades was unceremoniously sliced and diced to give him more posable arms. I'm not too happy with the arms. I feel like I rushed some of the work to get him mostly functional, but it affects the posing later on. In any case, after it was done, I started to try and get new skin tones in place. For Persephone, I found a fuchsia dye at my local store. So, after giving her a nice long bath in boiling water, we have an overcooked beet. Not the right shade and much too red. I think I probably left her in the dye for too long, or I mixed up the portions. Still, the dye is good at keeping her joints more seamless with the finished doll, and I'm using acrylic paint to give her the right shade after this. A few coats and some varnish, and she's ready for a new hairdo. Before I get there, I decided to straight up paint Hades' new skin. While I think the color was spot on, I should have done more to prep the body to hold on to the paint. Even with a few coats of varnish, the new color would not stay on the squishy face at all as I started to work on rerooting. I had to go back afterward and patch it up, and I wish I'd waited until after plugging the hair to do the face. On that note, because I tried to make do with what materials I had on hand instead of ordering everything in advance, I made things much more difficult for myself. I had ordered a test sample of Aquarius from the Doll Planet that was the actual perfect shade for Hades, and in retrospect, I should have ordered an entire hank. The color I managed to make was more dark than I liked, but since I'd managed to plug the front hairs with the lighter blue, it mostly balanced out. Mostly. Aside from the hair, the body blushing and the scar detailing was super fun to do. Setting Hades aside to dry and set the hair, I turned back to Persephone. Her hair was a perfect match, and I made sure to buy enough of that hair also from the Doll Planet. So, giving myself a star sticker for that one. The hair is so beautiful and so silky, I love the overall effect. The only downside was how much it tried to slide back out of the plugs as I worked. So if you consider buying from them, remember that. With the new hair and skin, Persephone really began to take shape. Now that I had the main features settled, it was time to start on the outfits. Hades' classic suit and Persephone's party dress are some of my favorite outfits from the comic, so I had to get those right. After working through prototypes, I had the suit fixed as nicely as I could manage. I got to work on his face, and because there were so many layers of paint already, I did a very light sketch with the watercolor pencils before digging in with the acrylic paint. Getting the eyes right was my biggest concern because everyone notices the eyes. Yay, not bad. Back to Percy. After plugging the hair, getting the glue in place was especially difficult due to the doll's head shape. I did a few passes with the glue to make sure I had gotten all of the hair before wrapping it up so I could get started on the face. Because I wanted to go with Persephone's longer hairstyle, I had to tie her to the stand to get her secure enough to set her hair in place and trimmed. Seeing the face and hair together was so satisfying. Oh my gosh. All done with that, now time for the party dress. I had some trouble finding a fabric I liked for this. I decided to see if I could dye a small batch of some silk type fabric that had a subtle pattern. Because it's silk, I think, I wanted to use natural dyes. Gathering up some bay leaves and a pinch of saffron, I boiled the materials for about 15 minutes before adding a pinch of vinegar to set the dye. The difference is a beautiful golden color that was exactly what I wanted. Making a quick mock-up of the dress, I got to work fitting it as tightly as possible to give her the right silhouette. Working on other aspects of the outfit, I painted a simple pair of heels and gave them the glitter treatment to give them some pizzazz. And then I proceeded to give myself more work by making Persephone's fur coat from scratch. I couldn't find any fur fabric on hand that was what I needed in the right shade or the right texture, so this was my only option. I made a large, simple coat and then made lots and lots and lots of yarn wefts. Because I care about your sanity more than my own, I'm going to give you the quick show about making the coat. Finally, it's all finished. At this point, I realized I'd neglected to get Hades a pair of shoes, because you can't go to a fancy party without shoes. I thought I'd make them from the same fabric as the coat to get them as a comfortable fit, but nixed that pretty soon. Using loose paper to get the fit, I then glued black silky fabric to give the shoes a bit more style, and they're done. Although the results are a bit messier than I would have liked, the opportunity to show my love for this comic series was so much fun. I'd like to try again in the future perhaps, but until then, thank you so much for watching the creation process. We've got a lot of love for art here on this channel, so please subscribe if you liked the video and comment down below about what you like. Until next time!